I'm James Spann. This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday, the 2nd of September. Hot weather today. We cool down really nicely over the weekend. And Earl approaching the Middle Atlantic coast. Let's talk about it. First off, a nice shot there of the sunrise this morning coming from the Coleman Skycam about 6:30 or so. Of course, the sky was crystal clear this morning. This afternoon, that's the sky coming from Decatur up in the Tennessee Valley overlooking the mighty Tennessee River. A bright sunny sky there. There's the Chehaw Skycam, Alabama's highest mountain just south of Anniston, looking down the spine of the Talladega Mountains. And up in Hamilton, that's the Skycam at Hamilton High School overlooking the football stadium. Yeah, I got some high school games tonight, a bunch of them tomorrow night. College opens tonight. UAB hosts Florida Atlantic. Rain, not a problem tonight or Saturday night. What about tomorrow? We'll talk about that. Here's the water vapor satellite shot. You've got big trough over the northern plains digging down nicely, and a surface boundary is ahead of that, and that's going to slip through here tomorrow evening. Earl is off the coast of the Carolinas. Temperatures not as warm as forecast. The models had us up in the middle 90s. Well, we're looking mostly at low 90s. The one spot that is in the mid-90s up in Muscle Shoals, they've got 96, but down here, readings are between 90 and 93. Tomorrow we'll probably hit 90, but after that, yeah, we'll catch some of this air coming down the pike. Behind that front, look at that. Temperatures in the 60s over Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, 50s over Wyoming and Montana. And that will be the air we enjoy this Labor Day weekend. It's going to be nice. Convective outlook along that surface boundary. There's a risk of severe weather for the rest of today and tonight from near San Angelo, Texas, up to Milwaukee. That includes Oklahoma City, Kansas City, St. Louis, and Chicago. There's the QPF chart, expected rain for the next 5 days, and basically nothing for us. Shows a sliver across the Tennessee Valley, and more than likely, that's right. The front, as it comes in here tomorrow evening, will be hitting some very dry air, so showers more than likely will be few and far between. Could there be a few out there? Yes, but we don't think rain will be a big issue for those high school football games tomorrow night. The tropics, that's the topic. Earl, Fiona, Gaston, and what could be Hermine out there in the far eastern Atlantic. Is that how you say that, Hermine or Hermine? I don't know. I've heard Hermine. Well, we need to find out from the Hurricane Center, I guess. Here's a look at Earl. A couple of things to note. The big thing, I think we could look at this. You can see dry air getting into circulation coming in from where we are. The southeast, very dry air, and that's starting to wrap around the western and southern semicircle of this thing. And also, of course, the sea surface temperatures are cooler, so more than likely this thing has peaked in intensity. The maximum sustained winds now are down to 125 miles an hour. That is a dangerous hurricane, no doubt about that, but instead of a strong Category 4, it's a Category 3. And there's the track, no change in thinking. That's going to just scoot by the Outer Banks late tonight. It looks more and more like the center will stay maybe more than 100 miles offshore, and that's good. But still, the potential of coastal flooding is there. Some downed trees and power lines, no major structural damage. And also a hurricane warning for Cape Cod. Martha's Vineyard for late tomorrow night when it scoots by there, more than likely is Category 1, and it makes landfall in Nova Scotia as a weakening Category 1 Saturday morning. All right, coming up behind it, Fiona, that is moving well north of Puerto Rico, east of the Bahamas. Top winds are 50 miles per hour. And the track, this thing goes right on top of Bermuda late tomorrow night, early Saturday morning. Is a tropical storm and continues the trek on out to sea. No threat to the United States. And Gaston is struggling out there in the eastern Atlantic. This thing has really lost most of its deep convection. The Hurricane Center has downgraded Gaston to a tropical depression out there around 38 west. However, here's the modeling, and you can see that most of the dynamic models bring this thing right on across and really not much of a bend to the right. And this could be a threat to the Leeward Islands in about 5 days. And the intensity forecast off the models, ramp it up, even though it's been struggling of late. Most models have this as a Category 1 hurricane in a few days. And there's the official track from the Hurricane Center. They pretty much do the same thing. They ramp it up to a hurricane. And by Tuesday morning of next week, it's still east of the Leeward Islands. And Again, whether this recurves or winds up affecting the Gulf, we don't know that yet. But I'll show you the GFS here in just a moment. And in the far eastern Atlantic, that's what should be Hermine. And again, that one, quite frankly, has more convection than Gaston at this point, as the wave train just rolls along. Let's look at the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Nice trough digging down through the Great Lakes, pushing Earl northeast. Earl at midday tomorrow is just east of Chesapeake Bay. And there's our cold front coming in. And again, you might see a few blips on the radar, no doubt about that, but we think they should be pretty widely spaced. Saturday, what a great day. Continental air coming in. Highs mid-80s, low humidity. There's Sunday. Sunday morning, we should be in the mid to upper 50s. And the same thing on Monday, Labor Day. We'll start the day between 55 and 60. Some of the cooler pockets, they'll be pushing 50. And by golly, somebody might hit 48 or 49. We'll see. But it's just going to be a great weekend for whatever you want to do outside. And look at that new surge of cool air coming down back over the northwest. Tuesday of next week, 594 ring is back, and that means afternoons will get warmer. At the surface, we stay dry. Highs probably low 90s, and the same thing on Wednesday. And a week from today, still rain-free. You can see we got a pretty dry pattern. Look way down there in the lower right, and that should be Gaston. And the GFS has the thing in the Caribbean, and then almost a week later, this is the 18th of September, Gaston is on the South Atlantic coast. The GFS moves it into near Cape Fear, North Carolina. And again, that would be Gaston. Now, number one, will it take that long? I don't know. It could. Most systems don't take that long to come across. And number two, will it recurve up into the Atlantic coast, out to the open ocean, or wind up in the Gulf? We don't know that yet. This is absolute speculation. It's just model output. Way too early to call, but you bet we'll be watching. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.